Hello, and welcome to Messages from Beyond, Session 7. This is also a redo. I keep zapping the lines. So the other day, I recorded Session 7, and just as I was doing a technique at the end, there's too much energy attached to it, and it zapped out my device again, or it zapped out. Actually, I feel like it zapped out the internet connection and the video went away, but the work was done. And the reassurance that I got was that the essences of people, or people's hearts and souls at an energetic level, heard and received the message and the insights and all the epic stuff that was coming through that I wasn't able to share with you that day, but I'm sure it will come through in some other way, shape, or form another time. So here I am again, and we'll just see what is meant for today. I actually feel like I already know, so I will share my insights with you that I have so far. And ironically enough, I really just wanted to wear this I just love the color of it, but I really wanted to wear this blue shirt that I feel is a very closely matching color to the place that I will be connecting with today. Like the colors, the flag colors of the place. So if it's not bang on, I do apologize, but normally I wear pink, but today I just felt like wearing blue for the recording, which just reiterates to me that, like, I already know what the topic will be, or where I will be focusing my attention to today. So today is March 25th, I believe. Oh gosh. Wow. Okay. So that's a little bit embarrassing. Now that we're all in isolation, like, I'm having a little trouble keeping track of the days even. So it's Wednesday. I think March 25th. If I'm wrong, I will find out after this video is done. That's okay. All the days are blending together and all the days look the same, and it is what it is right now. So I have a lot on my mind, and I have a lot coming to me as far as the old energy that is making this virus be worse and allowing the virus to spread even faster, even further, even bigger, even stronger. And I work with a lot of living people as well, but I feel as though I've been asked by my soul, or that, like, I've just been asked by the universe, or whatever, however we want to approach that, to really help heal and cleanse energy and emotional energy from people who used to be living, who are now passed on, as the main focus, and help them heal and cleanse the energy that they left behind when they passed away, that's feeding the virus. And so my focus will be on that, but whenever I get the awareness or the insights to add in people, or to connect with people, and it's not even like specific people, it's just people in general who are living and who are in the physical right now as well, I definitely add that in as well. So I have no it's like I have no judgment of who I work with or who I help, or it's like I'm very willing to help whoever would like to connect and receive the healing and the clearing and the cleansing through this process that I do. And so what's been coming to me as like hot topic or a hot location, I guess, is Quebec. And it seems as though Quebec has been really increasing very rapidly with the number of cases of this virus that they are experiencing. And I'd say there's there's hot spots everywhere, but as far as like numbers goes, because they're also like highly populated places within Canada, I do feel that like Quebec, Ontario, and BC will be the three areas that I focus on first, or that come to me first. Because it's not even that I'm picking and choosing. It's more like I'm not actually at all. It's more who is coming to me to get my attention, to focus on them. So they come to me, I focus on them, and it's like this little symbiotic relationship that we have. And yes, so I do feel that Quebec has my attention right now, and my actions are reflecting that with my shirt color choice. And what initially was coming to me, so when the awareness of Quebec first came to me, so then I ask myself, meaning like higher self or intuitive self or universally connected self. So what is going on with Quebec from an energetic standpoint? See, I have no control at all over what people are doing on a day-to-day basis anywhere, but I am very aware of when there's other factors, other energetic factors that are adding to the problem. So if people aren't staying home, and if people are still having gatherings and doing what they do, then it's not nobody can change that other than those people themselves, and it's a choice, and nobody can force anyone. Well, okay, like not in Canada so far anyway. No one can force anyone to stay home and not leave their house. But energetically, I'm picking up that there's a lot of extra baggage there, energetic baggage, that is adding to the problem. And so that, I feel, is what this session will be about today, is just helping to heal and clear and cleanse some of this energy that got left behind from the past in the area of Quebec. But I'm actually more getting, it's like, yes, it is the area of Quebec, but it's actually more like the French culture of Quebec and the French people of Quebec and the history of French people in Canada. And I've traveled to Eastern Canada, and I've traveled to Quebec, and I'm a huge I'm a history nut. So anywhere we go, I'm always like, I do my best to stop at different places and learn about the culture and the history and, you know, what went on in the past, which is pretty ironic because now that's a really important thing for me, is to help heal what happened in the past from an energetic standpoint, because the wounded physical bodies of those people, or those, yeah, I'm just getting the word wounded. The physical bodies of those wounded people and what happened to them are no longer there. They're no longer living. They're still there somewhere, but they're no longer living. But the energy that they carried, that they did not resolve before they died, is still there. And it's very much alive, and it's very much active, and it's very much attracting and feeding this virus. And so when I started to, after I got the awareness about the energetic parts of Quebec, and then I started asking the questions, and what was coming to me was just that, like, there's a lot there. There is a lot there with the history of the Francophone people, and even like England and France history, or British and French history in Europe before anyone even came to Canada. Like, there is so much history between the English and the French, and a lot of it is not pleasant, and a lot of it is very there's a lot of conflict there, and there's a lot of like, I'm in charge, no, I'm in charge, no, I conquer and defeat, and it's just like, it's kind of been a constant battle between the two cultures. And so there's a lot of energy that's been left. So there's energy that's been left in the physical space, but there's also energy that has been carried down through the lines of the people as well. And so I am getting that, like, I will also invite the living people to cleanse and heal and clear this energy from within them that they're carrying as well, that they don't have anything to, they have no, I'm guessing most people are unaware of the energy from the past that they are carrying that is affecting them in detrimental ways in their present life, and will continue to be detrimental in the future unless this energy is discovered or became aware of and released. And so that is what I would like to do today in this session, and extend the invitation also, not just to the deceased people, but also to the living people who are carrying this unresolved energy from their ancestors and from their communities and from their culture as a whole, that is affecting them in detrimental, negative, health affecting ways. And basically, the awareness and the insights that I've been getting for weeks now, since this virus first broke out, like before it even got to Canada, it was like, this feeds on fear, this feeds on trauma, this feeds on unresolved stuff within us and within the land, or not within the land, but throughout the land. And so it's just really important for me to do what I can to help, and this is my way of helping. And so yes, I see there's a lot of people, like, so as I'm speaking and expressing myself verbally, I'm also expressing myself energetically. And so as I'm speaking, and that's why I was guided to speak out loud. And it's kind of really interesting, because I used to do stuff, like, I've been doing this type of stuff for years now, but I just did it silently in my mind, like in my intuitive space or my psychic space, and nothing was ever verbalized, nothing was ever vocalized, nothing was ever shared. And I just did the work however, what I'm realizing now that I am vocally sharing these experiences is that it's a much more powerful voice when you actually use your voice. And I'm just getting that like so many more people, or the essences of so many more people, or the heart and soul, or the soul of so many more people can hear me and can connect to me when they can hear me. And so this is a realization that I've been having as I record these sessions, is that, wow, like I can just, as soon as I start talking, I'm able to just see like how many more people are there and willing to receive help and receive what I have to offer so much more in this way than when I just silently, by myself, intuitively, psychically did what I did alone before. So that's kind of an interesting shift that I'm noticing. So just wanted to share that with you. So just to give a little background history, because it is important to create awareness of the picture of what this is and what's there and what's going on and why. And so what I'm getting is like with the French culture located mostly in Quebec, but I'm seeing it sprinkled throughout Canada and some of the states as well, within the people. So I'm also getting France. So let's use World War II, for example. So I was not alive in World War II. I did learn a lot about it in high school and throughout different things that I've read and watched throughout my lifetime. But I do recall, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel as though a lot of areas of France got damaged, and there was a lot of battles that happened in France during World War II. So there's the people and the animals, by the way, because I helped war animals in a different session, a different day. But there's the people and the animals that were in the battles, and they have an energy to them. And then they pass on that energy. If it's unresolved, they pass on that energy to their descendants, and it just continues on down the line. Sorry, I feel like down the line should be this way. Until someone heals it or resolves it or sets it free. And so there's the people of the moment, but then there's the land where things happened, and there's like the space where things happened, and there's like the water and the air and the land and the plants and the earth where things happened. That holds energy as well. And so that holds a lot of the trauma and the pain and the fear and whatever else went on. And so like the land holds the energy, whether there's people there or not. But the people that are still living there today, they hold the energy of their past family members and community members and culture members of, or yeah, like members of their culture. But then a lot of the people who moved away to other parts of the country or other parts of the continent or other parts of the world, they're carrying that trauma and fear. They're carrying that energy with them as well. And so it's so with Quebec, it's not just where the battles were, or it's not just what happened. It's not just where things happened between the French and the English. It's also the connections to the people that it happened with. There's also the connections to the people that it happened with that are the descendants are no longer in those communities, and they've moved away, but that energy was never resolved, and they are carrying it as well. So there's a lot. Like, energy moves around really, really easily, and it doesn't get screened at security checkpoints at the border or in airports. That is like I'm seeing kind of like what is it, like a parody or like kind of like ironic. Yeah, I'm seeing the irony of this, where it's like, if we have to check our bags at security and we have to go through screening at border crossings, but we're not getting our energy checked and we're not getting our energetic baggage checked at these border crossings and at these security gates. And really, like, that should really be being checked, because we're all carrying around like a lot of energetic baggage. And we're taking it to different places, and we're taking it to new places, and we're taking it to places that never had it before. And yeah, it's kind of an energetic mess of unchecked baggage and like just like dirty laundry. Like, there's a lot of dirty laundry that travels around, definitely. So I just see that, like, those are kind of the three main things I'll be focusing on in this session. There's four, sorry. So there's the land itself, the areas themselves, there's the deceased people that were a part of it, or descendants of part of the people that were a part of it, but they're on the energy side. They've gone through the golden light and they've passed on. Then there's the living people who are still living in Quebec and the communities of Quebec. And then there's the people who have connections to Quebec in some way, but have moved away. So four groups that we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on today. Funny I said fork. That might come up at some point during the session, where sometimes I'll accidentally say a word. Well, I think it's accidental, where I will say a word wrong, but it's not actually accidental, because it actually has meaning at some point with what is coming through. So maybe there will be some forks or symbolism of forks. Yes. I'm kind of already seeing, like, a lot of people I'm just getting like energetically leaky, because it's like they've just had so many forks poked in them from all of the conflicts between the French and English, that it's been very pokey, and it's been like, it's not like it was like one big clean swoop where it was like a one-time battle or a one-time conflict, and like all of this happened all at once between the French and English. It's like it was like little pokes here and there, little three-pronged, and I'm getting like a three-pronged fork, like a pitchfork of the olden days, but where it's like, it's not enough to kill you, but you feel it. And there's symbolism with three. I don't know, like body, mind, and spirit, maybe. But like every time there was a conflict, it was like you were getting poked by one thing, but it affected you in three areas every single time. Like body, mind, spirit is what's coming to me so far in this moment. And so I'm just seeing like all of these Francophone, and I apologize if I'm not like using the correct label totally, like French, Francophone, like I don't know if I know which you prefer to be called for any Quebec people that may see this at some point in time. So I do apologize if I'm not using the totally correct term. But I just see there's a lot of Quebec people who just have like so many sets of 3 pokes all over them symbolically. And it's caused them to be leaky, and it's caused them to be like compromised, where because the effects of like the energetic effects, like yes, the physical heals, but the energetic doesn't heal on its own. It needs some work, like the emotional, the trauma, the inner wounds, they don't necessarily heal on their own. Like I really don't think they heal on their own without some sort of attention of some kind. Anyway, that's my opinion. So yes, they're leaky and they're compromised, which allows external things to get in a lot easier and to affect them a lot easier, whether it's being like sensitive to things, being offended by things, but also physical health. So immune system, you know, your ability to fight off different things. It's like you're already so compromised from all of the 3-pronged pokes from your history between you and the English. And I'm not saying that the French didn't poke the English either, because they did. I'm seeing more like theirs was more of like cuts. There was more symbolically, there was more cuts, that the French cut the English, but the English poked the French. I don't know. It's all very, there's so much symbolism here all the time for me. So the French did their own cutting, but the English did their poking. And so the English have a lot of gashes from the conflicts with the French that we will deal with a different day, because they did not come to me first. The Quebec people came to me first. So I work in sequence of who comes first gets my attention first. So yes, so their systems, it's not like multiple systems have been compromised, which has a lot, in this case, it has allowed this virus to get in so much easier and to affect like people so much easier. And because of the energy within, like the unhealed energy within the French people and the unhealed energy of the land itself, it's almost like the virus is just having a heyday there right now. It's just really going to town. Like I can just see, like, it's just like, I can get in here and I can get in here and I can get in here, and there's like whole communities of people where I'm just getting in everywhere, and they're holy, like there's so many pokes in them, it's so easy to get in. And like when we're not, it like the virus is like when we're traveling around, there's so much energy in the land that feeds us as we go from town to town. It's like even when there are no people and there's spaces between people, because like Quebec isn't just one giant city or 2 giant cities. Like there's a lot of space between places, but yet the virus finds a way. And so I'm just getting that like the energy of the land is also feeding the virus as it travels, as it commutes. It's like there's a lot of gas stations on its commute to getting to the towns and the communities and the cities throughout the province. And so like how I can help is to help clear that energy and to help heal the energy so that it's harder for the virus to get around and it's harder for the virus to get in. And the rest is up to you guys. I will do what I can, but there is responsibility on like within the people themselves as well, and within the communities, and like the choices that are being made. Yes, it's like there's more work needed than just shifting this energy. So yeah, there's more work. There is more work needed. However, I'm very happy to do what I can to help from this standpoint and this point of view and this perspective. So I'm just asking if there's anything else that would like to be shared through me. Yeah, no. I'm just bringing a lot of awareness to the 4 groups, and just that, like, it's people that have historic and family connections to Quebec. It's people who are living in Quebec. It's people who've passed away who lived in Quebec or had connections to Quebec. And it's also the unresolved past, the unresolved energy from the past that is still within. So it's within the air, water, land, plants, and animals of Quebec. So they wanted me to get more detailed because it's like, again, with the spoken word, if I bring attention to it and I bring awareness to it through the spoken word, it includes it, which is really, like, that's pretty cool. It seems cool to me anyway. It's cool to me. And so I'm just asking if there's anyone else that would like to be included in this. It's like, no. Is there anything else? Is there any other information that would like to be included in this? I'm getting a no, but I'm seeing all the poke holes. They're saying the pokes from the English would heal like that. There we go. The finger wasn't working. The pokes from, like, the unhealed pokes from the English and all of the conflicts would heal like that if the English would be willing to apologize. Because I didn't realize this for a very long time, but apologies, like sincere apologies, energetically have massive, massive healing power. Like, an apology is, and like a genuine, I mean it apology has instant energetic healing powers. It is like the power of sorry is huge and very powerful. And I didn't realize that until I started doing this work, and until I started to apologize to people and genuinely mean it. And then I could start to see in my own life the power of sorry and the power of apologizing. And I think I actually, I don't know, I tried to do some research on the history of the word sorry and like sorry, and it actually is very, very, very symbolic. I will have to look that up one day. It's like sorry. When you break the word apart into its syllables, I don't know, I think I remember like reading some article or something on it that it's like has very powerful energy to it and very powerful meaning, like the history of it. So it's pretty cool. Like, to me, it's cool to me. It's okay if it's not cool to you, but it's very cool to me. So anyway, so the people that I'm connected to right now are just saying, like, if there's any English people either living, like the essences of living people now, or the essences of deceased English people that would be willing to apologize. And I'm just kind of the saga of English and French, I tell you. But there's a lot of English people saying, well, I don't really want to say sorry until you guys say sorry to us. And the French are saying, well, I don't really want to say sorry until you guys say sorry to us. So I'm posing the option, the suggestion, the idea of, what if you guys, like, on the count of 3, I'll count to 3 so that there's no funny business happening. Because I've got English and French and Irish and Lord knows what else in me. So it's like I'm not picking sides here. I'm on the side of healing and peace and health and happiness. That's my side. So my offer is that I will count to 3. And when I get to 3, everyone on both sides, both English and French, who are willing to say sorry and mean it, are invited to do so at that moment. And it will be, I really hope I don't kill my video feed. I'm just going to ask ahead of time. Please, please, please don't kill the energy. Don't kill the line, the connection. But I'm offering for there to be a mutual exchange of apologies, both sides at the same time, so that the English can start healing their slashes and their cuts, and the French can heal their triple pokes. So, is that a fair idea? So that no one has to do it first. No one has to give in first. No one is admitting defeat. But both parties are seeing that apologies could be made. Okay. I am getting that there are people willing in all 4 groups. Okay, well, 3 groups, I guess, because 1 group was the land. But the land is just an innocent bystander, honestly. Like, I feel bad for the land of the planet and the waters of the planet and the plants of the planet and the animals of the planet, because, like, humans put them through a lot of unpleasant experiences, and humans have done a lot of damage to them as humans are fighting with each other. And anyway, it is what it is. It was what it was. So on the count of 3, I'm inviting both sides to mutually apologize at the same time. And I'm asking that my connection does not get zapped. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm just seeing there's a lot of willingness back and forth, because nobody has to stand down. Nobody has to back down. They can still, like, no one has to give in. No one has to give up. It's just a mutual. And I actually see they're, like, crossing, which is really cool, because there's always been a huge divide. And so there is this crossing, because, like, once you apologize for something, it's like you're able to see the opposing party or the opposing person's point of view. And you're able, when you are willing to apologize, I'm going to see if I can, when you're willing to apologize, because this is no apology. We're just going to let that happen for a bit. I'm going to do an explanation right now as the apologies are happening. But this is not apologizing. This is, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And this is like the butting of heads. And there's a lot of opposing energy there. But when you apologize, it's like, it really doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. I was part of it, and I'm sorry for my part of it. And all of a sudden, gotta get the cross in here. All of a sudden, you're coming over to the other side, and like, I wish I had like little faces on these fingers, but it's like you're able to see the other side and get an understanding of their point of view, or at least be willing to accept that they do have a point of view and they have their own experience with what's going on. And it's like they have their own perspectives, and they have a reason for being in disagreement or being upset with you in the first place, because just because you don't mean to hurt someone, or just because you think you're right, doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt and affect people. So here's my little dudes. So like this dude and this dude in this moment over here, they've been able to apologize and cross over to the other person's side and see things from their perspective, and get even like it. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, but it's just like you're willing to stop denying that you've caused someone hurt or pain or sadness or trauma or whatever. Because the French, I don't know who's French and who's English here, but the French caused the English pain and trauma. And the English have caused the French pain and trauma. And now they're finally able to see that. Because when you're over here, you can only see your own stuff. Like you're coming from your own stuff. So that's the power of an apology. That's the power of saying sorry, getting a different perspective, and at least acknowledging that there is another perspective that might have some validity to it. And it's like the healing powers of that energetically are massive. And so I'm just seeing like tons and tons and tons of poke holes that are healing. And they're saying like, this is actually so much faster of a technique and faster of a solution than the technique that I would use to heal these holes, because it's like it's coming from a third party who's not involved. But when the two parties that are involved are willing to heal with, like, it's like heal with each other, or be involved directly with the healing process, even if it's just energetically, especially if it's just energetically, actually. Because when it happens energetically, you know that they mean it. There's a lot of people that'll be like, yeah, sorry, from a physical standpoint, and they don't freaking mean it. And there is no healing that happens when someone says sorry and they don't mean it. Just put, like, for the record, if you ever say sorry, or someone says sorry to you for something and you don't mean it, or they don't mean it, there is no healing. No healing happens. So if someone says sorry to you and you still feel like shit, it's because they didn't mean it, or you rejected the apology. But I feel like most times it's because when you don't feel better after someone does apologize, and you feel like you've been willing to receive it, but you don't feel better, it's because they didn't mean it. And if you ever apologize and you don't mean it, just so you know, your shit with that person is not going to be resolved, and they're not going to be over it, because you're not actually sending any energy, like any truth apology energy with you, like to that person, because you don't mean it. So don't apologize unless you actually mean it. And when you do apologize, make sure you mean it. Okay, So there's a lot of healing of pokes and cuts happening for both sides right now, and I can just see like the red poke holes are sealing over on the energetic bodies of a lot of people who are deceased, but a lot of people who are still living. Like, I'm actually more focusing on the people who are living. And all I'm asking, especially for the people, well, yes, for the people that are living, because the deceased people aren't catching this virus. The living people are catching it. But I'm just asking that for anyone who has let the virus in, that it's like, as the holes are healing, it's like the body is releasing the virus, or the body is like, the body is getting so much stronger to fight the virus, or to like, yeah, fight the virus, and to like deal with the virus, and to like, yes. So if there are people who had these pokes that are a part of this session today, I'm just getting that, like, even if you have the virus already, healing those pokes is giving your body so much more strength, and so much, it's just like making the temple so much stronger. So what's going to happen is, like, if the virus is in you, it's helping your body become so much stronger from an energetic standpoint. Because think of it, like, think of an energy field with a whole bunch of poke holes in it. Like, it's compromised, it's weakened, it's like diluted, and it's like, yeah, like, it's not strong. And then think of an energy body that it's like all the leaks are healed and all of the holes are healed, and it's just very strong and very solid. And it just allows, like, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, all areas or all levels of you to heal and be so much stronger, and to heal and deal, or deal and heal. Yes, deal and heal. So to deal with the virus and heal the virus, so much stronger, and so much, you just got a lot more energy and a lot more strength. And for those people who don't have it, by healing all of those poke holes, you're creating like this very strong, sturdy, I'm getting like air-proof, waterproof, leak-proof temple of your body that makes it way harder for the virus to get in. And so it's a win-win for everybody. It's very good. It's a very good thing to deal with the energy and help the energy and work with the energy, and in addition to our physical self. So I'm just asking if there's any, like, I'm getting a lot, like, all of these English people who did apologize, they're asking like, hey, could I focus on them next? And so yes, I will definitely, or focus on them too. Can I work with them as well? So yes, I definitely can do that for you in a different session. And I'm just asking if there's anything else that is meant for this session today, whether with healing. Okay, so yes, there is. So there was a lot of apologies that happened, but there's also, I'm seeing there's still people, especially way back, who didn't get a direct apology for whatever reason. The reasons aren't coming to me, but there are still people. There's still a few deceased people. Oh, and they're saying like the land also would like to release this conflict, trauma, constant like a lot of unrest, a lot of uncertainty about like, are the English coming back? Are the English coming back? Are the English? When are the English coming back? When are they going to try to get us again? When are they going to try to take over again? Like paranoia. So the words paranoia, fear, uncertainty, unsettled, just like on edge, edgy, like edgy energy. There's a lot of that in the land. There's a lot of that still with the deceased people. There's a lot of that still with the living people as well. And so I'm just acknowledging it and bringing awareness to it. I'm giving it a voice so that it can be dealt with. So I'm just asking, is there anything else that would like to be included in this package of healing that we're doing now? Yeah, no, that basically sums it up. Those are like the main categories, and if there might be a few other things, but they can still be connected to those main categories. So it's just once we have the awareness of what's there. So this is for the land and animals, so it wants me to be specific. Air, water, land, earth, like even in the earth. Like I'm getting like the surface of the land, in the earth, plants and animals, deceased people, living people who are still in Quebec, living people connected to Quebec, but have moved elsewhere. So we're including all of those dynamics in, and we're including this unresolved, unhealed, unreleased, detrimental, like virus feeding energy. They like that word. They're like, it's all of this energy that's virus feeding and virus attracting. Yes. So both virus attracting and virus feeding energies. I'm acknowledging what you are. I'm acknowledging that you're still there, and I'm giving you permission to release, dissolve, disintegrate, send back what you did not create, and fully let go, fully heal, fully resolve, fully neutralize. Like I'm just getting the word like to make things neutral. Like without, there's no like beacon, there's no, it's like there's no radar happening with it anymore. Like there's nothing, there's no longer anything that will attract the virus. Yes. Neutralize. I'm just getting like balanced, neutral, quiet, peaceful, like peaceful. So, yes. And to like, once this energy is resolved and healed and released, to then like just replace it, or the result now is just neutral, healed, peaceful, like love, light, and truth. Clear, no charge. Like when I say neutral, like there's no charge to it anymore. Energy that's just clean, clear, healed, balanced, neutral, quiet. And I'm just asking if there's anything else that I can help with today as far as Quebec. I'm seeing a lot of connections to France, and so I am extending this session and these processes and this experience to France, and to England. Oh, the English people here are saying, no, like help us first and then we'll send it to England. Okay, no problem. So to France, because we did a really great thing for French Canada right now, but I am extending this experience over to France because I do feel that there's a lot of relevance between Canadian French and English and European French and English history, experiences, pain, trauma, wounds, energy, unresolved energy, unhealed. Like, there's a lot of mirrors bouncing back and forth. So I do also feel that France will also ask me to specifically tune into them, but it's almost like I'm giving them like a taste for now, because there's a lot of people in French Canada that would like to also offer this to France and the people in France, and I'm totally good with that. So yes, I'm also open to helping France when they decide they would like my help. Okay, I feel like they're just, yeah, they're extending a thank you, and I received the thank you, and you are most welcome. And yeah, it's just, I'm just saying, like, I really hope this helps, but I know that it will in some way, on some level, and I just know it. And it's like I wouldn't be being called to do this if there wasn't a reason for it, and if it wasn't beneficial to in some way. Thank you for that reassurance. I appreciate that. All right, well, that's it for now. And thank you so much for connecting and joining me in this session and in this experience. And I'm always excited to see who will come through next. And yeah, take care and bye for now.